Allison Maki, Senior Vice President Administration and Chief Financial Officer. I've been with the Lions for 17 years.
Welcome to another Women in Football segment presented by Priority Health. I'm Danny Rogers, and joining me today in our new little format of this show is Allison Maki. And Allison, almost 2 decades spent with the Detroit Lions. What led to you joining this organization?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic career here. You know, unlike a lot of people in our building and in our industry, I did not set out for a career in sports. I was an auditor and I was working in Metro Detroit, working on lots of different clients like healthcare and obviously automotive and manufacturing. And then the Lions are one of my clients back in the Silverdome days. And I realized how much I liked this type of work. It was really interesting to see how a player moves from active to inactive and what that means and how the salary cap worked from a financial perspective. And I realized that it was something I was truly interested in. So the CFO at the time knew I had an interest in it, knew I was ready to leave the public accounting world. And sports was really becoming more and more complicated. We were going from the Silverdome to Ford Field, and the industry was changing in general, and thought it was a good time to bring another person on board. So since I knew the people and had exposure to some of the work, it ended up being a great fit. And many years later, I'm still here. And it's interesting because sports is still a huge part of my life. My husband played football through college, and now my son plays tackle football. So football is definitely truly a part of our family. Not thinking it would be, but it's been a fantastic experience.
When you came into the organization, you didn't assume automatically a VP role or role of CFO. So how were you able to climb the ladder and really reach a really high up leadership role with the Detroit Lions?
I think there's really 2 parts to every job, no matter what industry you're in. Finance is definitely no exception. I think you've got your technical skill set that you have to learn and really master. And then there's also the people side. And I think I've hopefully been able to work on both of those throughout many years, because you can't just be good at one and not the other. And the people side can range from networking and really power and observation. I think watching how other people work and what you can learn and take from them is just as important as continuing to build that technical skill set along the way.
All right, what does a day in the life look like a VP of admin and CFO?
Every day is different, which I'm sure everybody can say who works in this industry. But, I'm really fortunate to be a member of the support departments. We always say that we're not obviously playing the game. We're not generating revenue. We really like to think we're that ultimate support department. And I'm fortunate enough to be a leader of people who get to lead other people. I work with our VP of Finance, our VP of IT, our head groundskeeper, and our director of facilities. And being able to help them lead and watch them grow and mature and really make this place fantastic is the ultimate win for me.
Recently, you were just recognized as one of 100 women in Michigan, one of the most influential women in the state. So how did your work with the Detroit Lions lead to that sort of recognition?
Oh, I was humbled to be included in that list. It was truly an honor and a surprise. I look back and I think being, maybe one of 7 or 8 women CFO in the NFL is something unique in that sense. But I remember when I first started out, I met the former CFO of the Green Bay Packers, who was truly one of the first women CFOs in the league. And she gave me really good advice. And she said, it's ordinary work at an extraordinary place. And I have remembered that quote all of these years because it's true for all of us. And I think working at such an extraordinary place has really been interesting to a lot of people. And I think because of the name of the Detroit Lions and the weight that carries, besides my skill sets and hopefully my contributions, people are interested in learning about the Lions and what is it like from a business perspective. So I've really tried to reach out and be part of the community in terms of panel discussions and speaking engagements, and probably most importantly, mentoring young women. So I think those activities has really kind of helps put me out there in a really good way, and also getting experience and getting things out there that I get to do, such as sitting on boards that have really kind of put that whole package together.
You just mentioned only a handful of women are CFOs in the league. So how important is it that your leadership role with the Detroit Lions has you in it, being a female?
Yeah, I think it's important, to have different perspectives. And I think women can definitely bring that. It's been amazing to see the progression of women, at the Lions and in the NFL throughout all of these years. I think when you've got different perspectives, you can hopefully make the best decision possible. I also think it's really important for, the organization to support, which they have, working parents, not only women, but men as well. I mean, there's a lot of hours and dedication that goes into this industry, as we all know. But to show that a working parent can be that parent and be that great employee at the same time, has tremendous value in it as well.
You mentioned earlier you love mentoring. So what would be your best piece of advice to men or women who want to rise the ranks to a VP or a CFO position within pro sports?
Definitely staying open to possibilities. As we talked about, I didn't think that this was going to be my career path, and here we are. So I think staying open is huge. I think for those that really want to get into sports, it goes back to what we talked about. Make sure you're working on your craft or your niche industry, but keep that networking and those people skills going along the way as well. And finally, and I say this all the time, but ask questions. You should always be learning and always be growing. And this is a rapidly changing industry. So continuing to learn along the way will only be an asset.